Hello everyone, my name is Qigu, OpenText Fortify expert, and today I'm going to introduce you a new feature in Fortify Software Security Center 24.2, Data Retention Policy. In SSC 24.2, as a new feature, administrators are now able to define a global purge policy for application version artifacts. Customers may define the retention policy based on both number of artifacts as well as the age of artifacts. In addition, customers are able to configure boundaries on the data cleanup to reduce the impact to Software Security Center performance. Now let's get into our demo. To configure the data retention policy, you need to log in SSC as an administrator. Go to Administration tab. There's Policies options here. Select Data Retention Policy. This is where I configure my data retention policy. The data retention policy defines when the artifacts are marked for the opportunity to purge. When the artifacts are marked for the opportunity to purge, the data cleanup service will run to purge these artifacts. One important thing needs to be noted. Once an artifact is purged, the artifact is permanently removed and cannot be recovered. Once you enable data retention policy, you are also allowed to allow application version to opt out of the default policy. What I want to show first is to limit the time in data cleanup service. Here defines the days in a week and hours in a day when the data cleanup service can operate. Please be aware, change values are applied only after service restarted. Here we have two options, days of week and hours, which can limit when the cleanup service runs. User guide has a lot of sample and explain in details about how to set those two options. It's a cron-based syntax, allow user to specify single or multiple values in these two options. Here, for days of week, use value of 1 to 7 to specify the day of the week. So 1 is mean Sunday and 7 is Saturday. If I want to do only in weekend, then I will put 1 and 7. If I want to run cleanup service from Monday to Friday, then type 2-6. If I want to run cleanup in weekend and Wednesday, Thursday, then type 1, 4 to 5, and 7. If I want to run the service every single day, I can also type an asterisk here to schedule the cleanup service every day. Or I can do 1-7, which is the same. And here's the hours. Hours are a number which is from 0 to 23. 0 represents 12 a.m. and 23 represents 11 p.m. If I want to run at midnight to 6 a.m., then type 0-6. If I want to run the cleanup service, the every day and every hour, then I can type // and / in the both options. And please note, if we want to save these settings, it is required to restart the service to apply the change. Here we just skip the operation and we can go to the following, which is the default data retention policy. When you first enable Software Security Center to use the data retention policy, it is recommended that the user leave the policy properties set to the maximum allowed values for a time to allow individual application versions to opt out of the policy. Then we go to the edit policy. You can see we have only one policy here, the default one. There is only one policy we can see it set. And go ahead. There are two rules here. The first rule is maximum number excluding the setting number of days. And the second one is maximum age except the setting number of artifacts. So if I set maximum artifacts as 10, it means that anything greater than 10 is going to set these artifacts to purge. Then I set 5-day-old. That means I don't want to purge anything for at least 5 days. So here is the second rule about what is the maximum age of unpurged artifacts you want to keep per application. Let's set, for example, 30 days. That means anything older than 30 days I want to purge. It is going to do that. And that's the minimum we can set here. For example, 5. So I don't want to purge anything less than 5 artifacts in my application. So that means anything older than 30 days, but no more than 5 artifacts in the application, I'm going to keep the artifacts live there. These two rules will work together, and the Fortify Software Security Center purges the artifacts that satisfy at least one rule. Once I save this rule, it applied, does not require service restart. If I allow application to opt out, then it will show here the applications in application version without any data retention policy in fact. If I want to configure an application version to opt out of the default data retention policy, I can click Application tab and select the application version here, for example 1.0, and click the edit icon. Then we can find the policies tab here. Under data retention policy to follow, I can change the value to the none, opt out of the default. Then save the change here. Okay, then go back to the administration, policies, data retention policies. Then I can find the version 1.0 here. So this is the data retention policy in Fortify Software Security Center. And you can find more details information in the user guide. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we're looking forward to show more tips for OpenText Fortify products.